Join us each Saturday for the Justice is Here podcast, an innovative, revolutionary podcast that speaks to justice for all party members across America. We'll speak to leadership, we'll speak to activists, and most of all, we want to hear your opinion. So if you're tired of the two-party system and how it doesn't work for you, tune into this podcast to learn how we can take back the justice that we deserve. Thank you. Hello, everybody. I did not realize my sheets were still showing there. Let me get that over there. I hope everybody had a good day. Welcome to the 33rd episode of the Justice is Here podcast. As you can see, I am solo this evening. I'm solo. So, I struggle when I'm by myself. So, please keep those comments going. Keep them coming in. I'm going to need your help tonight. We've got surprisingly a lot of things to talk about. So before I get started, I'm going to go hit the comment section, and there's really only two announcements today. To learn more about the Justice for All Party, go to justiceforall.us. Justiceforall.us. One more time for good measure, justiceforall.us. And join us this Friday, November the 14th. That's this week. Wait a minute. Let's see. 7. Yes, that's right. Friday, November the 14th, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have an 80s trivia fundraiser for the JFA convention. Then the 15th, we are going to have a virtual scavenger hunt. Also, Saturday, the 15th at 8 o'clock p.m. And then we will end it Sunday with a interview with Dr. Cornell West. I am looking forward to that. That is 3 days of fun. Please sign up. We are still looking for participants. So if you are interested in participating, please, 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 please. I'm leaving that form up there so that you can go in and fill it out. We definitely need participants for both events. Obviously, nothing for Sunday because again, I'll be interviewing Dr. Cornell West. I want to and I'm still leaving that address up there because I got a special announcement. Okay, so let's see. Hold on a second here. We're doing good here, you guys. And like I said, I'm gonna need you guys' comments tonight because I'm solo and we always know that I struggle when I go solo. It's not a good look. I don't like being by myself here, but I'm here. I'm gonna talk about basically let me tell you what we're gonna do. So our schedule is gonna be a little bit different. So the Thanksgiving weekend, there will not be a Justice is Here episode. Then there'll be one that first Saturday in December. That second Saturday is December, and that will be our last episode. So that makes the last episode of the Justice is Here podcast will be December the 13th. That will be our last episode of the year. Probably are going to do a big old look back. Look back on the interviews we've done and the process that the Justice for All Party has um, um, accomplished in 2025, what we're looking for 2026. So let's get this party started, shall we? So I'm going to talk about a couple things. Yes, I have to talk about the election that was held last Tuesday or this past Tuesday. And how I think this is a call to action for third party candidates to get involved in the electoral process. Um, I'm going to talk about why I will never, ever on life ever ride Greyhound buses ever again. And that does have to do with the podcast. Um, because as I mentioned last week, every episode until December 13th, I am talking about straight convention. I'm not talking about anything else. Um, not going to talk about anything else unless, something just breaks and I have to talk about it. But that story of me riding a Greyhound bus definitely has to do with the convention. Hopefully, I can share it and not just go yard on it. So, want to get started. First of all, again, hello everybody. Um, we just had there were elections held Tuesday. There was, of course, Mandami won. Like, was there any doubt? Like, what? And there were three candidates. There was Mandami, Andrew Cuomo, and the Guardian Angels guy. What's the guard? Something something Sleva. I forget what his name is, but they were in it. Cuomo, of course. The bad thing about him, he lost to the same person twice. Because remember, Mandami won the Democratic nomination in the primaries. So then Cuomo says, I'm going to run as an independent. And then he gets beat by him again. But I want to talk about this from a different perspective. Of course, in these races nationwide, um, there were no independent candidates running for office, and I think that's a real shame. Um, I'm not sure, especially in the Mandani race. I mean, they were acting like he was out here proposing like mandatory vasectomies for men or just like off the wall things. I mean, the things he were proposing were so minimum. They weren't even I mean, they went back and forth to call him a socialist to a communist, not realizing they were like, he's a socialist communist. Those aren't the same thing. And I think a candidate that was to the left of Mendami, I, I don't know if they would have won because, of course, um, it takes millions, millions, and sometimes billions of dollars to run for public office. But at least it would have geared the discussion towards things that we as people that tend to vote towards the left would be looking at things like not only free buses. Of course, I don't live in New York. Now, keep this in mind. Free buses in New York, okay, most people ride the subway. But if you put free buses in my area, we don't have subways. So that would be a huge thing, right? To make Indianapolis transport free, that would be huge. That would be a huge deal. Free childcare. Um, but I would like to see things like, and I'm hoping that JFA candidates or Justice for All Party candidates talk about things like free school lunches. Um, I don't know if they do book rounds because it's been a while since I've been in school, so I don't know. But at least at minimum, like I said, free school lunches, free childcare. Um, I did appreciate that in his campaign, taking away the nonprofit status of organizations that support the IDF or do IDF fundraisers. I think that was good. Um, and it's important that we kind of expand on that. Um, Hello, Nelson. Here in New York, we have a historical win, historical election where the first Muslim Mindani won as a Democratic Socialist mayor. And notice he's not a socialist communist. Fox News, y'all got to stop. You cannot be socialist and communist both at the same time. You're either, here's how I explain it, and I saw a meme that's really good explaining this. Capitalism believes only a certain few should have money. Communists normally believe that nobody should have money. Socialists believe that people should have money, but everyone should have money. Not necessarily outstanding millionaires or eat the rich, but that's a good kind of way to think about it. And I'm like, they're not the same. But like I said, I want to talk about the elections in terms of recognizing what it is and speaking to what it is that people actually want. Because I think it's more, of course, it's more difficult for a third party candidate to run, especially a new party like Justice for All Party. We're a new party. People aren't sure what we believe or what we stand for. So it's going to be harder to convince people to vote um, for us as opposed to a Democrat that promises they're more centrist. They're not really left. They aren't proposing things like Medicare for all, um, um, the end of the military industrial complex. I'm trying to think of some other things. A living wage. Um, I don't believe that taxing people is going to bring about the change we need. Of course, that's a modern monetary theory discussion. That's not what this show is for. But I want us to think about meeting the challenge. There are so many things going on. Um, at first, with the SNAP benefits, a federal judge has said, no, you've got to restore, told the Trump administration, you had to restore SNAP benefits. And of course, the Trump administration appeals this. Um, and now they're back on pause again. So there won't be, to my understanding, there won't be um, um, there won't be SNAP benefits coming onto this cards. Oh, I didn't know my sister was watching. A lot of Americans are terribly dumb when it comes to other ideal. I'm gonna just say you said it, not me. Um, but we have these things that we want. We know people want them. We know people want um free childcare. And I don't have time to hear the other side. You just want free everything and you're okay with corporations like Amazon and Walmart and Target not paying their fair taxes rate. Okay, bye. But we have to think about we know people want the things that we want: free childcare, Medicare for all, um, no more wars, the abolishment of slavery. Oh my goodness. Well, prison slavery, yes, but I'm talking about the abolishment of homelessness. We know people want these things. I think what our challenge is how do we convince people to vote for us because we don't have money, right? We don't have money like even what the Green Party has. I mean, who and we certainly don't have the money that the Democrats and Republicans have. How do you get how do you recruit volunteers? How do you um communicate your message? Yes, there's social media, but then how do you drive people to those social media platforms? How do you get the word out about what it is that you're doing? So those are it's like we have to convince people. We have to sell ourselves, right? We have to sell ourselves to the American people. And I'm really glad that now we're starting to focus in on that because I think 2026 I'm not one of these people and you can call me naive or whatever you want. I'm not one of these people that thinks, "Oh, wait a minute, we gotta, we got a fire truck going by." Okay, so I'm not one of these people that thinks, "Oh, um, Trump is gonna try to stay. I mean, he may try to stay in office after 2028, but he won't be recognized as president. Sure, Republicans will try to steal the 2026 um midterms, but I think it's being used as more of a scare tactic. And if this gerrymandering works the way that I think it will, as much as I hate gerrymandering, and I really do, I cannot stand gerrymandering. I could see why the Republicans are doing it. Now, hear me out, everybody. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. We all know that this is a distraction from what's really going on, the release of the Epstein files. Trump knows that if the Democrats win the House and flip a couple of Senate seats, it's goodbye, and JD Vance may be president. Seeing as that he doesn't want to leave because for some reason he's fooled himself into thinking he's going to be president forever, um, he's trying to hold on to that. But the problem is they didn't take in account to the other states like blue states. They didn't think about California, Illinois, Connecticut, New York, um, New Mexico. It's as though they thought, well, we'll just do it, and then everybody will just be okay with it. I think I said that last week. It's like if Trump tried to stay in office, do they just think nobody's gonna say anything about it? Like we're just all gonna be like, "Yep, makes perfect sense to me. Yep, he's gonna stay in office." So we have a lot of work to do in terms of convincing people, hey, the Democrats are gonna use Trump staying in office for a possible third term. They won't tell you how they'll fight against it. Yeah, that they won't do. They will not tell you how they will fight against it. They will only tell you that he's trying to stay in for a third term and he's not gonna he's gonna use the office to punish his enemies. Like what president hasn't done that? Um, I mean, he basically is saying Trump is saying the quiet part out loud. He said that we could kill anybody we wanted to without due process, without any type of investigation. I don't know what the word I'm looking for. I mean, we have to remember Obama drone bombed and killed a couple of Americans. And I guess the Democrats were okay with that. So to me, Trump has always just said the quiet part out loud. But again, I think this is a very, very, very great opportunity to take to for justice for all candidates to run across the country. We need to take we just need to just run like the Democrats and Republicans don't even exist and just run our message, right? Run our message of not only child care, but free elder care for those that take care of elderly parents. Um, that they have to work and they have one person has to basically become the caretaker because nursing homes are just way too expensive. Um, Free college, the forgiveness of student loan debt. Of course, yeah, now my subject, Medicare for all. We have to run on those things and we have to do a better job of convincing people that yes, you need to take us seriously. We're out here, we're really trying to change things because what we have now is just not working. It's just not working. And if you look at the SNAP benefits, and I wish people would ask this question, why do we live in a country where SNAP is a thing? Listen to what I'm saying. Most people on SNAP benefits work. That means that they make so little that they qualify for government assistance. That should not be so. If they're working, they need to be earning a living wage so that they don't need those benefits, right? It's kind of like, well, wait a minute, we're asking the wrong questions. Yes, it's terrible. I say expand it. I say give everybody SNAP, but that's a me thing, right? But we have to ask ourselves, why is it that we're okay with it. And why is it that, and I know this wasn't even on the schedule, but I got to talk about it before I start talking about the convention. Why do we police people that have SNAP benefits? Oh, well, they're buying junk food and you don't. Oh, they're buying soda and you don't. I don't get to make, and yes, I'm a junk food addict. I'm trying. Yeah, I'm really, really trying. But nobody gets to tell me how to spend my own money. Like if I'm spending my own money that I worked for, that I earned, I should be able to buy what I want, right? But somehow we've made it okay to police people that are getting SNAP. We don't police Amazon. We don't police Walmart. We don't police Big Pharma. We don't police any of the bigs, right? We take Karen Slater, whatever her name, I'm just making up a name, Karen Jones, and say, Karen, you cannot buy your SNAP benefits need to be cut because you're buying a bag of potato chips. We you are wasting my $36 a year. That's literally what I'm paying every year for somebody to have SNAP. $36 a year. And you're taking my $36 and you're buying a bag of M&Ms, you shouldn't get SNAP. And as a matter of fact, we're going to put a work requirement on you. Now, keep in mind, you already work. So you're already in employment. Um, and it's like, where do we're asking, I think the left, us on the left, we need to start proclaiming that we need to start explaining not explaining that to people because they already know. Have people ask that question to potential voters. Why is it that a person is having a job because that's what we tell them they should have, but yet they qualify for SNAP? That makes no sense. That literally makes no sense. Nelson has a comment. Trump is going to lose the House and the Senate to the Democrats. The question is, will the Democrats have the guts to impeach Trump? I still say no. If they don't, then it just proves that they are complicit. They are complicit. Think about it in this way. People were in hoots hollers when the um, big ugly bill got passed and it made cuts to Medicaid that will start in 2027. Should be. That's a terrible thing to cut Medicaid benefits. People depend on Medicaid. Where was this outrage when Biden was cutting people off of Medicaid? Democrats didn't say anything. It's like this is another thing I think the two-party system does. It's like when they aren't in charge, everything's wrong. Everything's wrong when they're not in charge. You say nothing when Biden cuts Medicaid. You say nothing when Biden continues to separate children. You say nothing about ICE. That was under let me backtrack. Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, Trump. You say nothing about getting rid of ICE, which is something we've been saying for years. Get rid of ICE. And now it's bad. Where were you when ICE were doing all of these things, but on a smaller scale, and the media wasn't paying attention to it? We need to start challenging people that vote and people that don't vote, right? We need to be challenging and saying, hey, look, we've got a whole, essentially, I played this clip last week where I played the clip of a young lady that was saying basically what they're doing in Gaza is what they're doing here. And that's so very true. Starving children, cutting SNAP benefits, the policing, the over policing and assault of Gazans, ICE. It's happening here. See, we don't care when it's over there because that's them over there and they got to deal with that. But as soon as it hits here, it's like, woe is me. When you should have not voted for either of those because they're complicit. They get their money from the same place. They get their marching orders from big pharma, big tech, big business. They aren't getting them from you and me. I used to buy UTZ salt and vinegar potato chips. That's the nastiest flavor ever. Back when I was younger. That's how nothing that has nothing to do with if you have it has nothing to do like you just want a little salty snack. You just something to munch on. You watching TV. It's like so they bought a bag of chips. Oh wait. I mean that'll do it. I mean, sure, it's not nearly as much as Elon Musk is getting of government contracts and abatements, but hey, I mean that one bag of chips in comparison to the billions and perhaps almost $1 trillion that he's getting from the government. I mean, you got to go against the mother that's buying her child a juicy juice because that one juicy juice that cost me $36. Now, sure, the money that Elon Musk is getting and all of these others are getting is way more detrimental, but I'm going to concentrate my fury on a mother buying her child a bag of chips because but I'll do it. And I'm not here to preach against healthy diets. I believe in healthy diets. I try. I fail, but I try. But I mean, a bag of chips, a can of soda. I mean, you don't eat it every day, but it has nothing. Nelson said it better than I could. It has nothing to do with anything. But America is so propagandized, and that's the other problem that we have with these snap cuts. Is now you have because of the shutdown, you have government workers that are either at work, like they're working, but they're not getting paid, or they've been for they've been laid off. So now you've got even more people going to food pantries that were already having shortages. And now you have a president, quote, quote, that says a judge orders the continuation, but you say, let them starve. Who says that? Nobody's gonna say this. Like the fact that people who voted for him now are starting to wake up. I kind of wish you had did that before you voted for him. I mean, yeah, thanks for coming to the party, but you got here a little late. But okay, I guess. But his Fox and Friends and whatever that is, OAN and News Nation and blah blah blah. Like you're okay with this? Like nobody's questioning him about this. Nobody is talking about, you know, um, they just want free stuff. No, we want the free. Yes, we do. We want free stuff. We want the free stuff that you're giving to Amazon. We want the free stuff that you're giving to Walmart. We want the free stuff that you're giving to Elon Musk. Yes. Yes, we want the free stuff that you're giving to Israel, using money allotted that should be allotted to Americans. Yep, we sure do. Absolutely, positively. It makes no, it's like, and I wish I were a better communicator because I am not. I want justice for all candidates to be way better at the communication game than I am. I'm terrible at it. Um, and I don't, but I'm not good at it. It's not my thing. Um, So I want those candidates to run to have that clear message. Yes, we need to provide as much government assistance as possible. Absolutely. At the same time, we need to be advocating for a living wage, right? And we need to be advocating for free elder care. You wouldn't believe how many millions of Americans are taking care of their parents and sometimes grandparents. And I know in Indiana, there used to be a fund where they would pay like grandma would she can't take care of herself, but she's still mentally she's not mentally incapacitated. She can still do things, but she may need help doing things like cooking and cleaning. So the state would pay like a relative of hers to come in and take care of her for a couple of hours a day. That's gone. So now she's got to find help. And so what'll end up happening is she'll go into a nursing home, which nursing homes, I believe, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. I believe to go into a nursing home, people are normally having, if they own property, they have to sell that property in order to qualify to go in a nursing home. So not only do we need to advocate for expanding SNAP, getting a living wage, but also and childcare and elder care is very important. We need to be having a conversation about providing free elder care that's outside of a nursing home setting. Um, and I just feel really strongly about that because it doesn't it's imperative that we take care of people at all stages of life. We do it for the corporations. We give them billions of dollars a year. We gave Elon Musk money to fly into space. And technically, he just went into the sky. He didn't even, I don't even know if he left planet Earth, but he got taxpayer money to do. Well, no, I mean, not say that because I know the people with real progressives are watching it. He got money. The government gave him money to do that. Did the government give you money to buy food? No, they didn't. No, they're trying to take it away from you because you're the problem. Problem isn't Walmart's employees that make enough to qualify for SNAP. Don't ask them to pay living wages. Don't do that. Keep that income low. Prevent them from working 40 hours a week so they can get health care. Schedule 40 hours because if they get paid every 2 weeks, I believe. So schedule 40 hours one week and 35 the next so they don't get 80 hours so you don't have to pay them health care. Yeah, put all of those AI checkouts there. Don't hire any cashiers or anybody to help. No, don't do that. Nope, nope, nope. Let's just have AI take all the jobs. Let's not be innovative and say, we can use it. We can use AI. It is a tool. But let's start thinking about, other things that we can do to create jobs. Um, And Nelson, you said it better than I could. We want the same health care that is being provided to senators and Congress, people who are doing nothing to just see, they shouldn't get paid. Like while this government shutdown is going on, they should get $0. They're sitting here talking about the Democrats will, and that's another thing that I know that Justice for All candidates won't do if once we're elected is make stupid arguments, make silly statements like, "Well, if they would just go to work." No, you have to have a reason to get to work, such as I don't know a living wage. I would say affordable health care, but I'm Medicare for all, so I never put healthcare in that benefit. Employees, the people that work having access to free childcare, children having access to school lunches, the expansion of building homes for the homeless or repairing homes that are sitting vacant. I don't know how many vacant homes we have in Indianapolis. There are more vacant homes than homeless people. You literally would just solve the problem if you just repaired those homes. And of course, you would have to work with the utilities, which should be public owned, but hey, whatever. I guess it's not. Work with them to get like their utilities on so they can bathe and read and do all those things. Um, we should be looking at things like that. And if they want to leave, which they never do leave, but if a company wants to leave because they bring tax too much, oh well, join the club. Um, I I just wonder, you know, I think it's going to be up to us to drive that discussion in those areas instead of just being outraged that people are losing their SNAP benefits, which again, we should be. 42 million people should not be going hungry because they're losing SNAP benefits. Be outraged about it. But also ask the question, why are they working and they're still qualifying for SNAP? That is a big, huge problem. And I think it's going to take a justice for all candidate to actually ask that question. Like actually ask it. Like, okay, we aren't asking the right questions. Um, and of course, I don't say loans because I think loans are controlled by banks. I say more grants to people that open up their own businesses. Um, because we always say small business is the engine that powers America. No grants to open businesses. But Family Dollar got a tax abatement to open up a strip mall, and then 2 years later, it's vacant. And now that space is sitting there. It just amazes me with this. But and I guess I'm doing a poor see this how I know I struggle by myself. But I wonder people thinking to bring it back to my point about the elections Tuesday. I have to agree with Nelson. I'm not going to say the Democrats can't possibly lose the House and the Senate because anything could happen. But it's like, will they be complicit? Will they just go along to get along? Will they actually fight? If they actually fought and did, things that I want, I probably wouldn't even be a justice for all member. I'd be out there like, yep, I'm Democrat. But no, are they going to stop taking money from APAC and J Street? Are they going to stop taking money from Big Pharma, Big Tech? Are they going to demand that certain drugs be covered 100%? Well, I would say all drugs, but some people aren't ready for that conversation. Are they going to demand Medicare for all? Probably not. Are they going to demand that the minimum wage be increased from $7.25 to $27 an hour? Probably not. They'll try to do little performative things such as raising it to 15. We are off of 15. Let me tell you something about the minimum wage. We are off of 15. We've been off of 15. We are not on 15 anymore. We are past 15. We are 15 is like way back there. We're looking at 27, 28, 29, 30. And if you live in Hawaii, California, New York, it's probably going to be like more like 40 or 50. Yes, I said it, $50 minimum wage. How dare I want to ensure that people live a life um that can compensate them. Like, how can I do that? How dare I? I'm a socialist communist. Socialist communist. Oh my gosh. Um, and please don't start me about this ballroom fiasco. Um, had that whole thing seems to be a little bit illegal to me, but it amazes me that people still aren't engaged. They aren't as outraged as I thought they would have been. Um, and I don't know what it's going to take, but I know that we, as Justice for All um, members, need to encourage our friends and our family to run as Justice for All candidates to move that discussion in the places that it should be, and not just provide free grocery stores, which that's a fantastic idea. But where are they going to get their supplies from? Are they going to buy things like that local farmers grow? Are they, those kind of things have to be weeded out, and I think that that's a great idea. Um, I also think that I don't think the government should be running schools per se. You just fund them. Oh, and stop using test scores to fund schools. That's just to me that just irks of racism. I will not go into that. So I hope that you all were able to understand all of my ramblings. Um, Somebody's missing today. Hold on a second. Hold on. We got somebody missing today, and I don't know where he's at. Uh, I'm sending a quick message, y'all guys. I'll be there just a moment. So, um, I took Friday off of work. Yeah, it's story time. So I took Friday off work. Let me backtrack this. So if you don't know by now, the Justice for All convention slash assembly is scheduled for June 10th, June 11th, June 12th, 2026 in Columbus, Ohio. And I decided, I just want to see the hotel. And I want to see, what it looks like and get an idea of what we can and can't do. So I decided, hey, I live the closest to Columbus, so I'll just go. Well, I already knew that a 3.5 hour drive was not going to be for me. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to take a Greyhound. I want to now say, um, um, I will never ever take Greyhound ever again in my entire life. Let me tell you about, first of all, walking into there. There were people there, but there were like no employees. There was just like kiosks and things where you just go up and buy your ticket. Luckily, I bought mine online, but there was like nobody to help you if you had questions. Nobody to like help you book your bus ride if you need it. Um, and the floor, I'm trying to see um the floor. I don't know if Greyhound knows what bleach is. See, bleach, Greyhound, I hope y'all watching this. It's this little thing that you use to clean things. See, what you do is you mix it with some water, preferably hot water, and first you sweep the floor, and then you mop the floor. Now, I know my place is not clean. Look, but this place, it had candy stickers, candy wraps, and paper and bottles. And I'm like, do, do, y'all do know this place is open to the public, right? Oh, and they had like, of course, they had the vending machines. Oh, wait a minute. Nothing good comes from a story about. Wait a minute. Nothing good comes from a story about talking about Grey. It won't, because this one's going to go right down the drain. Greyhound has gone to the dogs. And someone new, Nate Echo, says capitalism is doomed. Absolutely. But it was like, okay, so I'm sitting here trying to find a place because I'm on my phone trying to pass the time, right? So they have this one charging station and it's against the wall. They don't have like when you go to the airport, you got the little charge stations like right at your seat so you can sit down, charge your phone or charge your laptop or whatever it is that you use. Nope, they got this one charging station and you just set your phone up on it. Well, I'm not gonna just sit there and leave my phone, so I got to stand there while my phone is charging. So then I decide, um, hey, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy some water. No, I said that in my mind, but then I said, you know what, Tracy? Why don't you put some bottled water in the refrigerator the night before you left? So Thursday night, thank goodness I had enough sense to do this. So Thursday night, I took a bottle of water, I put it in the refrigerator, and I took it with me. Why bottled water $3? For what reason? Like $3. For real? I'm not the day that I paid $3 for some dang on water that I know I should be paying like 52 cents for. No. So I'm like, you know what, Tracy, that was real smart of you to take your own bottled water because this about a bunch of buffoonery. Okay, so then they Then a lady kept coming in. Now, I didn't realize at the time she's actually driving the bus, right? Yeah, I know, yeah, this absolutely has to do with the convention. So she's actually driving the bus. So she starts, I mean, yelling at people. This is if you read the sign, you'll see where you're going. Well, okay, I ain't never been in the I've been in a bus station since I was like maybe in my 20s. Like the last time I rode a bus, it was like I was maybe 21, 22 years old, and I'm far from that now. So I'm like, oh, well, okay, that's good. And y'all just need to get in line. And I got to smoke a cigarette. And I haven't had a cigarette. And I got a dental appointment. And y'all making me miss the dental appointment. I'm like, lady, get another job. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we get on the okay, so she screams. She screams. I'm going to Columbus. So that bus, because they have 18,000 stops, it's going from Indianapolis to Dayton to Columbus and on to New York City. So I get on that bus, two people on the bus, two, the driver, me, and a guy that decides that he's just going to walk up and down the aisles all day. Now, I don't know why the driver decided to drive with the guy. Well, and he was just cussing and cussing and cussing and cussing. Look, I know I don't like cussing. I really don't. I never have. But I'm not going to tell people what they can and can't say unless they're on my platform. He just kept, and he would walk up because I took like the aisle seat, right? He walked like right up to me from because he was coming from behind me, right? So he would walk up to me where like I could feel him on my back, and I'm just looking at him like, dude, get away from me. And she kept saying, well, I'm gonna have to kick you off the bus. I'm like, lady, kick him off the bus now. So we would literally go to cities and they don't have stations. Like Indianapolis has a station where the bus rests and you go in, you could use restroom. Not these stops. These stops outside of Indianapolis, they had like like a city bus. Just outside, just outside, you had to get out. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You had to get out, sit outside, sit outside. No restrooms, no anything, and wait for your next bus. Luckily, I got off at Columbus. I ended up staying with my uncle. It was just an overnight stay, and I got off. Remind me never, ever, ever on life will I get my behind on a Greyhound ever again. It will not happen. When I go back in June, when I go back in June, trust and believe I will be on somebody's airplane. I will not. I'll drive, and I can't drive more than an hour because I'll start getting sleepy. I never get on the gram. That was the most terrible experience I ever have had. It was disgusting. Thank goodness I didn't have to go to the bathroom because I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had to use that bathroom. And then when we came back, the ride back, it was like super crowded. It was like no place to sit. And so I got this guy falling asleep and leaning on me. I'm like, oh, just stop this. Stop this. Oh, stop. I don't know who I don't know why I thought, I almost should have just drove because that was like the worst 6 hours that I've ever spent in public transportation ever. I will never, listen to me. If I can help it, I'm never getting back on a Greyhound. Nothing. Never. Not gonna happen. That was so terrible. And then when I came back, oh, they had a person sitting there. And then they would just go like they had like 1,800 stops. Like, how many times you had to stop? Like, they don't have like an express, like you can just get on and go. Like, you know how planes have like nonstop flights and they'll just go from one to another and they won't stop? I guess because they got to get gas. I have no idea. I have no idea. Hello, Tim. You must have gotten my text. Like, share, comment, and support on Patreon. Absolutely, positively. So I went to see the hotel and I took plenty of pictures, but when I try to send them so I can share, they're not coming out right. And excuse me, I don't know why, because my phone is crappy, so it's not gonna really work like that. But the hotel that we're having it at, the Junto, is a really, 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 really nice hotel. Um, it's intimate, it's cozy. Um, I like the fact that it's independent. It's not associated with like Hilton or Marriott or Best Western or any of those type of things. The hotel rooms, the conference rooms are really large, so we're going to be able to do what we want to in terms of offering workshops and those type of things. Um, like I said, I'm hoping next week if we get participants to participate in our fundraising weekend, um, let me get that link back up here. Um, that I'll be able to download those pictures and show you all, or at least put the link. Um, I did not realize that we're across the street from a very, very large science museum. There was some nice outdoor space for those of you like me that like to do things outdoors. I'm not that person. I'm gonna be staying in the whole time. Um, and if you don't know, our fundraising weekend is next week. It will kick off Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. with 80s trivia. Um, hopefully, we will get some people to participate. Um, we're gonna have a great time on Friday. Then Saturday we'll have the virtual scavenger hunt. Then Sunday, Dr. Cornell West will join us. But that's all to raise money for the convention. We only have, let's see, we only have, hold on a second here. Hold on a second, guys. Okay, so yeah. We only have 200 and 13 days ago until our convention. So support us in our fundraiser because we're trying to alleviate some of those costs, but we're going to have a great time. Great, great time. Like I said, the hotel is fantastic. Um, I'm talking to the people that are listening. Um, another thing that I found was really interesting because point of honesty, I wanted the convention to be in Vegas. I just thought, oh, Vegas will be great. You got your casinos, you got your entertainment, you got da 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 da. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute, it's a good thing because yeah, you got all that stuff. Might get distracted. Now, and I'm just talking about me. I'm not talking about anybody else. Um, so I'm sorry, I just gotta get that little smidge off my computer. Um, we have a lot of things planned, a whole lot of things. And as I wrap up the entire rest of this year up until December the 13th, um, talking about the convention, we'll get down to some of the workshops that we're having, some of the people that we want to come speak. If you are interested in being a volunteer, that is that I can do. If you are interested in volunteering for the convention, we need your help. We are a small little committee and we're trying to do the best that we can. But we definitely need help and assistance. We have um, um, a merchandise store that we're going to have on site. We have this podcast will be there, and I figured out a way to do it. So this podcast, although it's not the official podcast of the Justice for All party, this podcast, Justice for All Will Justice is Here podcast will be there all uh, 3 days. So we're just planning on having a whole lot of things, and I look forward to telling you all what we have coming. And I'm putting the volunteer link in the comments now. So you said you were gardening, farming, and community, growing food for others in the purest form of kindness, doing it in truth, justice, and love. Yep. And again, if you want to volunteer, you go to jfaconvention.com/volunteer. We meet on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We try not to meet more than an hour. We just kind of get our assignments and what we're going to do. We've come a long way, but we still need volunteers. We still absolutely positively need volunteers. Um, to help us. So if you're interested, go to that website. Let me look at it again to see if the form is there. Um, yes, you can volunteer to register and check in. You can be a greeter. You can be, we'll definitely need workshop and panel assistance. We'll need someone to help the vendors and exhibitors to be a liaison. Um, Photography and videography, digital engagement and live stream help, um, media communication support. We need your help. We absolutely positively need your help. It's imperative. Like I said, there's 213 days to go. Tomorrow it'll be 212, and we'll just keep counting it down. But your help, whether you can give 2 hours a week or 4 hours a week or 30 minutes every other day. Um, Let me get back to this one screen. Um, please consider volunteering and please sign up for next weekend's event. That is a huge event. The committee has put a lot of work into organizing that. And I might as well tell you now how that's going to ideally work. We'll play our trivia games and the comments we are asking that instead of asking your question, or if you're going to ask a question, if you can put like an amount that you want to pledge, that would be helpful. Um, of course, every dollar that you contribute will go directly towards the convention planning. Um, None of the committee members are getting rich off of this, trust me and believe. Um, but you're going to see a lot more of us. We have an Instagram account, we have a Facebook group, which I'm going to put that here also. Um, yeah, I probably should have did that. So I'm going to put the Justice for All Convention Facebook page. Da 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 da. I am trying to get this. I don't like when I literally just thought about that too. No, nope, that's not it. No, now I don't know what's going on. Now we know there's a group. It's a free. Well, I know it's here. Hold on. Now we got to sit here and be like, I know it's here. I literally just saw it because I just put in the link, refreshed the link yesterday. Here it is. Okay. So definitely, consider volunteering. We definitely need your help. Any help that you can give, whether it's 30 minutes a week, an hour a week, 2 hours a week, would be greatly appreciated. There is the Facebook page. I know it's a long one, but if you simply go to the search engine on Facebook and type justice space for space all space convention. You'll find it. You'll see a fist with two justice scales behind it, surrounded by stars. That's ours. Convention website. It will be getting. You'll start seeing more announcements about the convention there. Of course, you can always go to jfaconvention.com and keep up on guests and registration. That is the other big announcement. We are very, 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 very close to securing what workshops and things that we are going to do. So I'm going to actually share this screen because I want you all to see what's new instead of me just sitting here talking about it. So let me share this screen. So this is the website. This is new. So if you go to the website and you go up here to the header, you will see in a couple of weeks we will have the full schedule and we will have registration links. Um that is very new, that just got added today. Keep in mind we will be having our store. Our goal is to have our store up by December the 8th. So you'll be able to buy merchandise. But this right here is what you probably want to bookmark right here, because that is where we will tell you what the schedule is, how to register, how to you and perhaps a roommate would register for the conference or workshops. Just a lot of things that are coming up. And like I said, just really, really, really excited about this. And as the date gets closer, I will be talking about. And I know my views are gonna fall off, but oh well. Um, should never have put me on the committee, because if I'm on something, I'm gonna work it to the best of my abilities. But definitely, definitely volunteer if you can. Definitely donate if you can. We definitely start talking about the convention. This will be the first time. This will be our first convention, not our fifth, not our ninth, not our 20th, our first. So the pressure is on to hit it out, hit a home run. The pressure is there. I mean, we're up to the challenge because the committee members are great, but we want to put on a great convention for the people that choose to attend. And really start building communities and really start making connections that need to be made. So, and of course, you can always put in the comment section any ideas you have, but consider volunteering. Definitely consider if you could do two things for me: donate to the convention at jfaconvention.com, and just also bookmark that schedule/register link, because it will be coming up. And like I said, we're hoping to have the registration store coming up like in December. It may be the 15th, but not around not like the week of Christmas, won't be that week. Um, but that is it, guys. I can't believe I talked a whole hour. I think because mostly I talked about the election and rambled on and on and on and on about it. So, join me next weekend for the Justice for All Convention fundraising weekend. November the 14th, that's a Friday. We will be on at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our 80s trivia. Um, if you want to sign up for that, I'll put the link back up. That will start off again at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then the next day, we will have our virtual scavenger hunt. That will be Saturday the 15th. That will be at 8 o'clock. And then ending on the 16th, we will end our week with Dr. Cornell West. Very excited to have him on here. I think Fatima said I've interviewed him 5 times, but I'm pretty sure it's 4. I want to say it's 4, but she seems to think it's 5. So if anybody could settle that, for me because I can't remember 5 times interviewing Dr. West, but I'm certainly looking forward to that. Um, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. This wasn't half as terrible as I thought. So remember to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, 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 subscribe. I'm at 3 9. I think I'm at 3 something something. I think I'm at 389. Yeah, so I'm at 389. We may not make our $1,000 goal, 1,000 subscriber goal, but we're gonna just keep pressing anyway. Um, so hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button to know when I go live. I will see you all this coming Friday. Remember, there is the link to sign up to be a part of the fundraising committee. We need as much help as we can possibly get to make those 3 days successful. There is the link. Please fill it out. Have a great evening. I'm going to take myself down and do the outro. Remember to always, always, always walk in truth, justice, and love. Have a great evening.